On this episode of Japanese Gaming Weekly, we'll take a look at a Fire Emblem game making its way to the West for the very first time, check in on a few characters releasing for Granblue Fantasy Versus, and hear what's coming next from Kojima Productions. And if you want to stay up to date with all the latest news in Japanese gaming, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss anything. Let's get into it. The first story today we have is that Fire Emblem Shadow Dragon and the Blade of Light is finally coming west via the Nintendo Switch eShop, and it will be releasing on December 4th for $5.99. Now again, Nintendo is doing this weird thing like they did with the Mario collection, and it's only going to be available until March 31st, 2021. I don't know why they keep doing this. I don't know why they're artificially limiting, especially digital games. I really don't understand what's happening with this, but unfortunately, that's what's happening. And this is actually the first time this particular version of the game has been officially released in the West. Of course, we got Shadow Dragon, a remake for the Nintendo DS, which was released in 2009. A lot of people really enjoyed that game. Now, what's really cool about this release, though, is that it has a fast forward function, a rewind function in case you make a mistake during combat, and it has save states. And for you super collectors out there, there is a 30th anniversary edition that will be releasing for $49.99. And this includes a replica game packaging, kind of looks like an NES cartridge, some art books, a little mini Nintendo Power thing, and a bunch of other stuff. And if you feel like you want to pre-order that, I have a link in the bio for you to check out. Now for me personally, I probably won't be picking this up. An NES strategy RPG seems super archaic, although, you know, with the rewind function, the fast forwarding, it might make it a little bit more palatable, but still, I don't think I'll be picking this one up, but let me know what you guys think. Next, Hideo Kojima confirmed that Kojima Productions is working on their next project. Now, they said they're going to be hiring for their Tokyo studio, so it seems like they're trying to keep everything in Japan. And there had been some hints that Kojima wanted to work on a movie next, so some people were wondering, is this going to be a movie or is it going to be a game? And, you know, if you look at the job listings on the website, there's stuff for like programmers, lighting artists, writers, all this stuff. So this is very much a game. You don't have to worry about him going to make a film, although that would be kind of interesting. And what's kind of also interesting surrounding this is there's a lot of rumors going around right now that Sony's working on a Silent Hill game, possibly a Metal Gear Solid remake, and Kojima has said that he wants to work on a horror game, and we all remember PT, right? And, you know, it'd be really interesting to see what they do next, although I have to say, I don't think it would be anything related to Konami, especially with all the bad blood they have there. But nonetheless, you know, Death Stranding was a really fascinating one-of-a-kind game, and I don't think it's going to be a sequel, but it'll be really interesting to see what they do next. And lastly for news, Cagliostro is coming to Granblue Fantasy Versus in October, specifically October 20th. Now she looks pretty cool. She's kind of one of the shorter characters, and she has like a spell casting moveset where she has this book and she can do all kinds of different stuff. She looks really, really fun. And they also announced at the end of this trailer that Yule will be coming in December as part of Character Pass 2. Now Yule is like a fox girl and she has dual blades. They didn't show any gameplay. They just kind of showed her that, hey, she's coming. And there are 3 more characters coming to Character Pass 2, all set to release in 2021. Those are yet to be revealed, so it'll be interesting to see who they announce and maybe even if they do a Character Pass 3. Now I have to say, it's kind of interesting that this is the West's first introduction to the Granblue Fantasy series officially. Yeah, they have, you know, English patches for the mobile game for the web, but that's sort of a weird way to play the game. I don't think that's anything official, and there wasn't a big push for it. It's just there for those that want to play it. Now, in this December, they're also doing Granblue Fantasy Fest in Japan, so I'll be curious to see what they do with Granblue Fantasy Relink, if it's going to be coming to PS5, what else they announce for Versus. So keep an eye out for all the Granblue Fantasy news coming this December. Now for this episode, we don't have any release date roundup. There wasn't any release dates announced this week, nothing of note at least, but there are a couple good deals for the Nintendo Switch and even one free game that you can pick up. So for the Switch, we have Pokemon Sword and Shield and Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition are both on sale right now for $40. Great deals, and I think the reason why they're doing Sword and Shield is because they're doing that like definitive version with the DLC. So if you don't care about the DLC and you've been waiting to pick the game up, then hey, $40 is probably the best you're gonna get for a Nintendo game. And you know, Costume Quest 2 is gonna be free on the Epic Game Store. In fact, I think it's free right now. So if you saw my short JRPGs video and you thought that looked cool, then hey, you can go pick it up for free right now. That's a heck of a deal. Now I just want to say thank you for being patient with the show and me bringing it back. I just had to figure some things out. I wanted to try to find a way to do it without driving myself crazy, so I'm going to try to keep doing this every week to the best of my ability. Now by the time this comes out, it's going to be Halloween week, and if in case you missed my last video about my spooky RPGs, definitely go give that a try if you're wanting to get into the spirit of the Halloween season. And if you haven't subscribed already, definitely consider subscribing. And thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.